Welcome, everybody, to Sunday morning yoga. Whether you're here in the studio or you're at home. We're going to start on our back, right? Everybody in the studio is already there. You come there whenever you're ready if you're watching at home. You can bend your knees, or you can just lay flat, whatever's comfortable to you. Take your first couple moments just to arrive. Let your breath start to take over. Let it push all your other distractions to the background. As those distractions flow to the background, you can be fully focused on your mat, your practice. You can be fully present to your mat, your practice. Once you feel like you've got that full focus on your breath, then you can add that element of control to your breath. Just start to breathe in through your nose and out through your nose. Let your breaths become longer, slower, deeper. As you inhale, you're pulling that breath all the way down to your belly. As you exhale, pushing it all the way out. And that way, we can move just with one breath, one movement. And when we're ready, start moving here. What you're going to do at first, extend your legs long, right? Take your arms overhead. You're pointing your toes at the tip of the pencil, pointing them towards the front of the room. Reach those fingertips towards the back there. I'm going to turn sides here so you guys can see. And then as you inhale, right, you're going to take your hands, bring them to your sides, bend to your knees, and curl them to your chest. You look like this. And then kick your legs all the way up to the sky, so you're in a waterfall. And then from there, as you exhale, both legs are going to come down straight and together all the way down to the mat. You can take them one at a time if you need to, or if you need to put a little bend in your knees while you're doing that, you can. Now take your arms overhead again, come back to that pencil stretch, pointing your toes, opening everything up. From there, you're going to bring your hands to your sides, curl your knees into your chest. we inhale, kick the feet up to the sky to waterfall. Exhale, drop them all the way down. Inhale, take your arms overhead, make that pencil stretch. Exhale, hands to the sides, knees into the chest. Inhale, legs straight up for waterfall. Exhale, float them down. Inhale, come to that pencil stretch, arms reaching overhead, toes pointed forward. We're going to do that about 3 more times. So bring your hands to your sides, pull your knees to your chest. Kick those legs straight up to waterfall, lower them all the way down to the mat. Take your arms overhead, take that pencil stretch, hands to the sides, knees to the chest, kick the feet straight up to the sky, drop them all the way down. Take your arms overhead, take that pencil stretch, hands to the sides, knees to the chest. Kick your legs straight up to waterfall, drop them all the way down. One more time, we're going to take the arms overhead, do that little pencil stretch, and then take your hands to your sides, curl the knees into the chest, kick your feet up to the sky, and let them come all the way down. Here, now this time, as your arms come all the way down, you're just going to take your knees into your chest. Take your hands this time to crease your knees, and just rock yourself up. Then once you're all the way up, come around into tabletop. That's hands and knees pose. So you're going to get your shoulders over your wrists, your hips over your knees. Take a couple cat-cows here just to get that body and breath in perfect sync. So as you inhale, lift your chin up to the sky. Tuck your tailbone under, let your belly drop. That's cow. As you exhale, tuck your chin to your chest, round at your back, hollow out your armpits. That's cat. So just keep moving here. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Now you can be going faster or slower than me as you do these. You're going faster or slower than anybody else in the room with you, if there's anybody in the room with you. You just got to find the rhythm of your own breath. Match your movements to it. A few more rounds here. And then we're going to be back in neutral tabletop eventually. Now, from your neutral tabletop, you're going to push your hands away from the mat and just come up into a high kneel. So it looks like this, right? Your hands are reaching up overhead. Now, you're going to drop that right hand to your right side, right? And then start to lean back. So you're reaching back those left fingertips. Maybe your hand just stays on your right cheek or on your right thigh. Maybe you can lean all the way back and touch those right fingertips to your right heel. As you inhale here, rise back up, take your arms overhead, and then we're going to go the other way. So you're going to drop that left hand down. And again, maybe it just comes to your left cheek. Maybe it comes to your thigh. Maybe you come all the way back. You can come up here, Christy, if you want to. And you're reaching those right fingertips back. Now as we inhale here, come back up. Take both arms overhead. This time, as you exhale, you're going to go down into child's pose, right? Take your hips over your heels. Reach your arms nice and long. Let your forehead come to the mat. All right, so we're going to do that one more time. We're going to add on, we're going to do it more than one more time. We're going to add on a little bit this time. So when you're ready, I want you to draw it all the way back up to high kneel. You can come through tabletop if you need to, or if you've got the core strength, just come straight from child's pose. Now this time, we're going to exhale. You're going to sweep your right hand back behind you. Reach that left hand in front. So in this little open arm twist, right? Then come back to where you were. Drop that right hand to the right cheek, right thigh, right heel. Reach that left hand up and over. Come back up into your high kneel here. And then as you exhale, add that twist this time. Take your left hand back, reach your right arm forward. Now drop it down, take your left hand to your left cheek, left thigh, left heel, reach that right hand up and over. Inhale, come back up. And then as we exhale, we're going to come back down to child's pose. All right, so we're going to do that a couple more times, adding that twist. So as you inhale, come all the way up into your high kneel. Exhale, sweep the right hand back, bring the left hand forward. Come into your half camel. Right hand go down, take that left hand up. Bring it back up to your high kneel. Take your twist the other way, sweep your left hand back and your right hand forward. Lean back, reach that right hand up as that left hand goes down. Come all the way back up. Take it all the way down into child's pose. And we're going to do that one more time. You're going to rise up, reach your arms up overhead. Sweep that right hand back and the left hand forward. Drop into your half camel. take it back up to your high kneel. Take your left hand back and right hand forward. Drop it into your half camel. Come back up into your high kneel, and then come back down into your child's pose. All right, now this time from child's pose, we're going to pull it back up into tabletop. And then as you get to your tabletop, tuck your toes under. Lift your hips up and back. Come into your first down dog of the morning. So you've got your fingers spread wide like starfish, that pointer finger is from the mat. You're letting your head drop between your shoulder blades, pushing your belly towards your upper thighs. If you want to add some movement here, you can. You can bend one knee, then the other. Walking the dog. Maybe you want to sway your hips side to side. Maybe you just want to stay still. Just take the time here, check in with your body. Notice what's going on. Make sure you're listening to your body as we go through the rest of practice. Put a little bend in your knees here. Bring your feet forward, your hands come to forward fold. So now your belly is touching your upper thighs. Your head's hanging heavy and long. Shake your head yes. Shake your head no. Make sure there's no creases in the back of your neck. Right? We're going to do some basic sun salutations here. We're going to go through this first one nice and slow, then we'll do it a second and third time here, moving a little faster. Take a half lift here into monkey. Pull your shoulders in with your hips. So now your back is flat and the crown of your head is pointed forward. As you exhale, let yourself sink back down into forward fold. And then this time, as we inhale, right, we're going to take our hands to the tops of our feet and ragdoll roll it, right? We're trying to keep this all very contained, very inward, the sun salutation. So you're coming up to that standing mountain. And then once you're in your standing mountain, sweep your arms up overhead, all right? As you exhale here, we're going to twist to the right. Take your right hand, wrap it around behind your back. Take your left hand to the outside of your right hip, and then let your right shoulder open, let your hips open towards the right side of the room. Untwist here, take your arms back up overhead. As you exhale, go the other way, right? Wrap your left hand around your back, right hand outside of your left hip, and then twist to the left. So you're kind of giving yourself a little hug here around the waist. Untwist, take your hands up overhead, right? This time, just grab your left wrist with your right hand and side bend to the right. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, switch your hands, side bend left. Inhale, come back up. Now this time, as you exhale, drop into cactus arms, elbows even with the shoulders, palms towards me. Inhale, pull your shoulder blades together, and then exhale, sink into a back bend. And then as you inhale, you're going to take your arms up overhead. Bring your palms together. Exhale, bend your elbows, pull your hands through heart center, start to hinge at the hip. Let yourself drop all the way back down to forward fold. Right, we're keeping everything in that one line of the body. All right, so let's do it 2 more times here. You're going to inhale, take a half lift, shoulders even with the hips. Exhale, fold back down. As you inhale, hands come to your feet. You ragdoll roll it up. Once you're standing all the way up, sweep your arms up overhead. Exhale, take that twist to the right. Wrap your right hand around your back, left hand to your right hip, open up to the right, and twist, sweep your hands back overhead. Exhale, twist the other way. Left hand around your back, right hand to the left hip. And twist here, and then grab your left wrist to the right hand, side bend to the right. Inhale back to center, switch your hands, side bend to the left. Inhale back to center. Exhale, drop into those cactus arms. Inhale, open your chest. Exhale, lean back. Inhale, come up tall. Bring your palms together. Exhale, bend at your elbows and start to hinge at the hip. Draw it all the way back down to forward fold. All right, let's do that one more time through. Inhale, half lift monkey. Exhale, fold back down. Inhale. Slowly ragdoll roll it up. Sweep your arms up overhead. Take that twist to the right. Right hand behind your back, left hand to the right hip. Untwist, hands back up overhead. Take that twist to the left, left hand behind your back, right hand outside your left hip. Untwist here, hands up overhead. Grab your left wrist to the right hand. Side bend to the right. Inhale back to center. Side bend to the left. Inhale back to center. Exhale, cactus arms. Inhale, open your chest. Exhale, back bend. Inhale, come up tall. Arms overhead, press your palms together. I'm forgetting my own sun salutation. Bend your elbows, come back down into forward fold. I'm looking for somebody else. I'm like, wait, who's teaching this? Who can tell me what to do? Well, it's me. I'm supposed to remember. All right. I do kind of remember what we're going to do from here, okay? So you're going to take another half lift just to reset your back. Shoulders even with the hips. Exhale, fold. Now you're going to keep your right foot forward. forward here. Step your left foot way back behind you. So we're coming into runner's lunge. So you've got your right knee right over your right ankle. Your left leg is nice and long. Now, you're going to plant your right hand on the inside of your left foot. Take your left hand up to the sky. I said that backwards. Keep your left hand inside your right hand. Keep your right hand up to the sky. Just basic twisted lunge, right to the right. Now, as you bring your right hand down, it's going to come inside your right foot. Let your left heel drop, push your right leg straight. Just walk yourself around into this wide forward fold. Let yourself sink into it. You should be facing the left wall. There you go. That's all look good. Now you're going to push away from the mat with both hands. Come all the way up to a 5-pointed star. Right? So you're reaching up tall, lengthening your spine. Now from your 5-pointed star, you're going to turn your right toes towards the top of your mat again. Bend back into your right knee. Drop your hands on either side of your right foot. Turn your left toes forward. Now you're going to drop to your left knee. What you're going to do here is come back into tabletop. So you're going to step your right foot back. Bring yourself to tabletop. All right? Now, slide your right knee forward, right? Kind of so it's coming like right towards the in-between of your thumbs. And then kick that right foot over to the left. Maybe you can slide it all the way through there. Just like this. Maybe not, right? If it doesn't come all the way through, it's okay. All right, once you're there, let your right hip come all the way down to the ground. Pick that left foot up and sit up. So you should have like a little V with your legs. You're kind of angled over there, and that's okay, right? Turn towards your left leg. That's the one towards the back of the room. And just take a little forward fold here. Slide down your left leg, reach towards your left foot. If you don't grab your left foot, it's okay. Now, slide back up. Bring your hands around. They're going to come outside your right thigh, right? Put both hands on the mat. You're going to turn those left toes over. Start to bend into your right knee again. Slide it back. You're going to bring yourself back into tabletop. Right? Now, once we're in tabletop, right? Take your right leg, extend it long behind you. Then take it, step it all the way over to the right. Take your right hand, wrap it behind your back. Step that right foot next to your left hand. Let your right hand come down outside your right foot. So you're in this runner's lunge, right? We're in kind of a funky runner's lunge, at least I am. My left knee is literally in front of my left hip. I want it behind my left hip, so I'm going to tuck my left toes under and just move that left knee back a little bit. So I'm in a regular runner's lunge. Now, as you inhale here, you're just going to peel up into a kneeling crescent. You can keep your hands on your right knee if you need to, or you can take them all the way up to the sky if that feels good. Right? Maybe you're spinning your pinky fingers in here and leaning back. You can add that if you want, if it makes you feel like you're going to fall over. Don't do that part. All right, now from here, you're going to come down. Your hands are going to come to the mat. Your right leg is going to straighten. You're letting those right toes slip up off the mat. Drape your body there over your right leg. So you're in that half pyramid. Right, think about what's really supposed to happen in half pyramid. The whole point of it is to open up our right hamstring. Right, so sometimes we get so focused on how far are we going to push that left hip back. Right, how low are we going to sink the chest that we're not really paying attention to the right hamstring. Sometimes you'll get a better stretch in that right hamstring if you keep your chest up a little bit, if you don't push that left hip back as much. Right? So play with it. Right, where you feel the sensation. Right, now we're going to walk it back forward here. Bend back into your right knee. Bring your hands on either side of your right foot. You're going to tuck those left toes under. Come up off your left knee now. Drop your left heel. So your right toes are pointed to the top of your mat. Left toes are pointed to the left. We're going to rise up. As you rise up, push your right leg straight. Let your hips turn to the left. Take your hands up to the sky, grab your right wrist with your left hand, and pull towards the back of the room into your Sky Archer. Now, from Sky Archer, bring your hands to heart center. Right, you still got those right toes pointed forward, left toes pointed to the left. Bend into your right knee again and drop your right elbow towards your right knee. So you're in a little Skandasana here. If you want to take it super low, you can. Right, it could be all the way down here. You could keep it just with your elbow to your knee or as low as you can get, right? Now we're going to come back up here, push into your right foot. You want to straighten that right leg again while your left toes come down. Hands come to the ground. You want your left hand on the inside of your right foot and your right hand point up to the sky. So you're in a revolved triangle. It's a great place to use a block. If I had mine, I would do that, right? So that you can get down a little bit easier. If you can't get all the way down, maybe you shorten up your stance so you can keep that right leg straight. Maybe your hand comes out at your right thigh. Right? These are all good versions of revolved triangle. You find what works for you. Now, from here, right, both hands are going to come to the ground. You're going to pick up left foot. Bend into your left knee, right? That left knee is gonna drop down outside your right ankle. Okay? So we did this yesterday, right, where we stayed up. This time, I want you to let that left hip come all the way down. Start this little twist here. Drop your right hand back behind your right hip. Take your left hand, hug around that left knee, and look over your right shoulder. Now we're going to untwist here. As we untwist, you're going to bring your feet up to the sky, coming into a boat. Your toes can be on the ground if they need to be. You can be grabbing around the front of your knees, around the back of your thighs, whatever works. All right. Now, last thing we're going to do, cross your legs. Drop yourself into easy sit with your right leg in front. Bring your hands in front of your shins here, in front of your right shin, and just walk it forward into a fold here. Come as far forward as you can, keeping those cheeks on the ground. All right, and then when we're ready, right, maybe you can kind of pull the floor or the mat toward you. Roll over the knees and come up. Come back into tabletop. Otherwise, camera here, it's okay. Otherwise, you're going to unwind your legs, come around, tuck your toes under, lift your hips up and back, come through down dog so that you can walk it all the way forward and come back to forward fold, where we started from before. All right, so we're going to inhale. I'm going to turn around so you guys can see you guys. Here we are. Take that half lifted monkey, the shoulders in with the hips. Exhale, fold back down. Now keep your left foot forward. Step your right foot way back behind you. Come to runner's lunge. So first we're just going to do that basic twisted lunge. Your right hand goes on the ground or on a block. Take your left hand up to the side. Twist towards the left side of the room. You're going to let that left hand come down. It comes inside your left foot. Drop your right heel to the ground. Straighten your left leg. Turn your left toes towards the right side of the room, towards the right long edge of your mat. And let yourself sink into this wide forward fold. Crown the head towards the floor. Push away from the mat. Bring it all the way up into a 5-pointed star. Reaching up tall. And then from there, you're going to turn your left toes towards the front of the room. Bend into your left knee. Let your hands drop on either side of your left foot. Turn your right toes forward. You're going to drop your right knee. And then step your left foot back. Here's where we come into tabletop. We're starting this from tabletop. And once you're in tabletop, you're going to slide that left knee forward, aim it for right between your thumbs, and then kick that left foot over to the left. Maybe you can kick it all the way straight. If not, it's okay. Right? Once you're as far as you're going to get there, let your left hip come down, extend your right leg long, and then you're going to bring your hands over toward your right leg. Right? So that's the one towards the back of the room. Fold over that right leg. Now come back up, swing your hands around. They're going to come outside your left thigh, right? You're going to bring it back into tabletop. So you're going to bend into your left knee. Bring your left knee back behind your left wrist. Drop that right knee next to it. Right? So now we're back here in tabletop. From your tabletop, you're going to take your left foot, extend it long, toes on the ground, then swing that left foot over to the left. Take your left hand, wrap it around behind your back, and then step that left foot forward next to your right hand. Let that left hand come down. You want to be in runner's lunge. So whenever I do this, I end up kind of with my right hip way behind my right knee. So I'm going to tuck my right toes under and move my right knee back. All right, so once you're in your basic kneeling runner's lunge, you're going to push away from the mat. You can take your hands up to your left knee and push up, or you can take your hands up to the side. Reaching up. Maybe you spin your fingers in towards each other and lean back. Opening up the hip flexors. You don't have to do that part if you don't want to. And from there, our hands come to the ground. We push the left leg straight, let the left toes flip off the mat. Drop your hands on either side of your left leg. Come into the fold. And remember, it's all about the left hamstring here. That's what we want to open. That's what we want to feel the sensation. So whatever you do, it's to get that nice stretch. Maybe your hands walk towards your right ankle because that gives you better stretch. Maybe they walk back towards your right knee because that gives you better stretch. Find it for you. Now bend back into your left knee. Walk it all the way forward again. Right, this time we're going to come up off that right knee. So you're going to tuck your right toes under, come up off your right knee, drop your right heel to the mat so your right toes point to the right, push away from that, straighten out your left leg, your hips turn to the right, your hands come up to the sky, grab your left wrist with your right hand, and pull towards the back of the room in your sky archer. And from sky archer, you're gonna bring your hands up, pull them to heart center. With your legs just in the same place, bend into your left knee, drop your left elbow towards your left knee. And again, you can take it really low if you want to, or you can keep it up nice and high, just touching the elbow towards the knee, right? If it doesn't touch the knee, it's fine. All right, then you're gonna push through that left foot. Your right toes are still facing the right. Both legs come straight again. Now you're gonna take your right hand to the inside of your left foot, and your left hand up to the sky in a revolved triangle here. Use your block if you need to. Get that left leg straight, that's the important thing. Maybe you shorten your stance, maybe your hands comes all the way up, if that's what you have to do, it's all good. All right, now let your left hand come down. Right, you're gonna pick up your right foot. Move back here so hand up on screen. Pick up your right foot, drop your right knee outside your left ankle. So first, top of your right foot comes down, right knee comes down, right hip comes down. Right, that's the easiest way to think of it, is so you can get down nice and comfortably. Once we're here, we're going to twist to the left. So you're dropping your left hand back behind your left hip. Right hand hugs around that left knee. Right elbow hooks over the left knee. Look over your left shoulder. Now we untwist here. We're going to come around into both. Right, so you're facing the top of your mat. Legs are in front of you. You're here, right? Maybe you're here. Maybe you're here. Wherever you want to be. Feel that pull in your belly because your core works to hold you up, whatever else you're doing, right? Now, we're gonna cross our legs. Left leg goes in front to the right. Come forward, bring your hands in front of your left shin and walk it forward here into your fold. Maybe your elbows can come down to the mat. Maybe you're still up high. It's okay. You wanna feel that pull in your hips. Going as far forward as you can, bringing your chest as far forward as you can, without your cheeks leaving the ground. Again, here, maybe if your hands are extended, you're going to pull the floor towards you and roll over your knees. If that's not going to happen, then unwind your legs. We're all going to come back into tabletop. Now, once we're in tabletop here, one more time, you're going to tuck your toes under, lift your hips up and back, come up into your down dog, bend your knees, look between your thumbs, bring your feet forward, your feet, come to forward fold. Forward again, you guys stay where you are, right? Toe your feet out wide to the edges of your mat. Turn your heels in and your toes out. And then bend into your knees and drop your hips. Come down into your Malasana squat. If Malasana is good for you and you can hang out here and it feels great, stay right here. If it would feel better to sit on the block, do that, right? If none of that feels good, then you're gonna come all the way down to your glutes and bring the soles of your feet together. Find your place where you're comfortable. That's the most important thing here, is that you are comfortable. Because I want you to close your eyes and reconnect with your breath. If you're in some pose that's not comfortable to you, you're not going to be able to do that. So come to a place where you are comfortable. Notice you still have control of your breath. Notice you still have the focus on your breath. If we lost you to those things while we're flowing, this is your chance to get it back. Slow your breaths again. Lengthen them again, deepen them again. Two more breaths. And eventually, we're all going to come all the way down to the mat. All right, so I want you to come into hook line. It looks like this, right? I'm sitting on the mat, I've got my feet on the ground, my knees up to the sky. We want to grab on to your knees, right? Because we want to use that arm strength to pull ourselves up so our core doesn't have to work, right? We're going to try to work our core here, right? So I'm going to let go of my knees. See how that feels. Now, we're going to play with our boat a little bit here, right? Just like we did in the flow. We're going to lift the feet up off the mat, maybe. Reach your arms long, maybe, right? If you have to, your toes are on the ground, if you have to. Or grab it around your knees here, or underneath your knees. Find your version of boat, where you can hang out for just 3 breaths. Now, I want you to take your left hand and put it right on top of your left knee, right? So you're kind of hugging your left knee in. That should give you a little relief, right? It should feel better, at least on your core. Take your right hand, see if you can grab the outside of your right foot. So really bend into that knee. If not, grab your ankle, your shin. Maybe grab your right knee, right? What's going to happen here, we're going to take the right leg and kick it up to the sky. Maybe you're doing it, right? Maybe you're grabbing onto your ankle and you go like this, or your shin. Or maybe you're holding behind your knee. That's all good. 2 more breaths here. And now, release that right leg, come back into your boat, and reach your arms long again. We're going to switch sides. So you're going to take your right hand, grab onto your right knee, you can hug it in, right? Take your left hand, see if you can bring it outside your left foot. See, I came around from the inside of my leg. Maybe you can get it over here. Maybe you're just grabbing your ankle or your shin or behind your knee, right? And then you're going to kick that left leg all the way straight. It's all right if you fall over, if you roll back. That means you're trying. It means you took it to your edge. Two more breaths here. Now, let that left foot come down, right? Grab onto both knees. Bring them into your chest, but get your feet up off the ground. Now, maybe you're going to stay right here. Maybe you can take both hands and slide them down to the outside of your feet and kick both feet up to the sky. Maybe you're just holding on to your knees. That's fine. Maybe you're holding on to your knees and your toes are on the ground. That's fine. Now, see if you can take your feet a little wider wherever you are, right? Whether you're holding onto your knees, your thighs, your toes. 2 more breaths. And then bend into your knees, release your feet, drop your feet back to the ground. So first what I want you to do here, push your belly all the way up to your thighs and wrap your hands around your shins. Tuck your chin to your chest, drive your forehead toward your knees. Release any tension in the legs, in the hip flexors. Now from here we're going to come all the way down to our back. So you're going to come up, you're going to reach your arms out long, tuck your chin to your chest, roll down to your back, let your head come down. All right? Now, we're going to do a little core work here, but we're going to make it kind of gentle. Does everybody have a block? Everybody's in here? Hopefully you have a block, right? What you're going to do, you're going to lift your hips up, and you're going to slide that block under your hips. So you're coming here into a supported bridge. All right? If you're at home and you have no block, right, you can come up and do a regular bridge. That's going to make it a lot harder. But if you're wanting that, you can go there. Or you can just keep your hips all the way on the ground. What we're going to do here, you're going to keep your left foot on the ground and take your right leg, kick it up to the sky. And so we're doing this with our hips on the block, so we're still elevated. Right, if you've got your hips, like I said, if you're at home and you don't have a block, maybe your hips on the ground. Maybe you're really lifting your hips up with your left foot. I want everybody here, just push into your left foot, like you're driving that left foot through the floor. So feel that left leg tense up. You don't have to lift your hips, just push that foot into the ground. Take 2 more breaths. Now from here, everybody's going to roll onto the balls of their left foot and lift your left heel up off the ground. Let that left heel float back down, and then bend into your right knee. Bring your right leg all the way down. Now take your left foot, kick it up to the sky. So your right foot's flat on the ground right now. Just kicking that left foot up. And again, really press that right foot into the ground. You're going to lift your hips up to the ground. Like you're going to kick that left foot up to the sky. You don't have to actually lift your hips. Just feel that tension in your right leg. 2 breaths here. on your right foot, lift that right heel up off the mat. Hold here for 2 breaths. And let that right foot come all the way down. Bend your left knee. Drop it down too. Lift your hips up. Slide that block out from underneath your hips. Let your hips come flat to the ground. Right? And then let yourself roll to one side or the other. Just let your knees fall over and push yourself up. All right? Now we're going to face the top of the mat here. So you're going to bring your head towards the top of your mat. And you're going to lay on your belly. And I'm going to come. And then from there, you're going to take your hands. We're going to come to Sphinx. So you're going to bring your elbows right over your shoulder and your hands straight in front of you, right? Your palms are pushing into the mat. You're pushing your chest through, looking up. So you should feel that little pull in your low back. Now, if you want to add more here, maybe you press your palms into the mat, straighten your arms, and lift your elbows up off the mat. I can't do that for very long because my back is not that strong. Right? You got to listen to your body. My body always tells me that it's happier here in Sphinx. So that's where I stay. But if you need Seal, if Seal feels good to you, you should go there. If you're here in Sphinx and you're like, this is a lot on my low back just right here, Paula, then what you're going to do, move your elbows a little bit more forward. Let more of your belly come to the mat. So maybe you look more like this. Right? If that's the only way that you could hold this pose for another 4 breaths, then that's what I want you to do. If it's okay, with your elbows right over your shoulders in Sphinx, stay here. If you need Seal, go there. 3 more breaths. You're going to let yourself come all the way down. As you come down, cross your elbows, right? So you're grabbing your opposite elbow with your opposite hand and let your forehead come down to your wrists, your forearms. Right? I'm going to look up so I'm not talking into the floor, but you should have your forehead down on your arms. Once you're there, bend into your knees so your feet come up to the sky. All right? And then windshield wipe your feet, right? Let them both go over to the right. Maybe they come down to the ground, maybe not. Bring them up, take them to the left. Just go back and forth. Feel good, kind of releasing that back. All right, and eventually you're going to bring your legs back to center. Let those feet come back down to the ground. Now lift your head up, take your hands, bring them right by your chest. Push yourself up into tabletop one more time. Right, and then we're going to come around into that hook line. So let your hips come to one side or the other. And then bring your feet to the top of the mat. So your toes are towards the top of your mat. We're going to lay down on our back here. Right? Take your arms out long, tuck your chin to your chest, round all the way down to the ground. All right, so we're going to do a pose here. It's called cat grabbing its tail. It's Linda's favorite, right? And this class is for Linda, so we're going to do it today. All right, there's lots of different variations. I'll try to show you all of them. Know that you don't have to do all of it, right? So take your knees, hug them into your chest. All right, and then from there, you're going to let your arms go out long, like wings in a T position. Actually, I'm going to turn around here so that you guys can see. We're going to let our knees fall over to the right. It's kind of like that supine twist that we do at the end of class. It is like that supine twist right now that we do in class. And maybe this is where you're going to stay, right? If this is enough for you, that's okay. You stay right here. Now, the important thing in this pose is that your chest stays facing up towards the ceiling, right? Everything else we do, right? We're not turning over to make our chest face the side. You want your chest facing up, all right? So you're going to kick your top foot out. That's your left foot out. Kick it all the way long and bring it up towards your right fingertips. Maybe you can grab your right foot with your left foot with your right hand. Right? But you've got to keep that left shoulder anchored down. Now, same thing here, right? I'm going to take my right foot, the one on the bottom, I'm going to start to slide it back. And maybe I can bring my left hand around and grab a hold of my right ankle, right? So see, now I came up and I've turned to the right so I could get a hold of everything. If I can come back down and put my left shoulder back on the ground and look up, then I can stay here, right? But maybe I don't grab all the way on to my left foot with my right hand. Maybe I don't grab my right ankle. Maybe I'm just reaching down towards it. Maybe you just need to stay in your basic supine twist. That's what I'm saying. Lots of different variations of this pose. If you can grab the one foot with the one hand or the other foot with the other hand, then you do that. But if that doesn't happen for you, that's not the point of the pose, right? Keep your chest pointing up towards the ceiling. Keep both shoulders anchored to the ground. If you came up with the shoulder to grab the foot, like I said, I came up with my right shoulder, that's okay, but then I gotta take it all the way back down so that my chest ends up facing the ceiling again. If I can't do that, I'm not gonna grab that foot. I'm gonna look like this. It's all good. I want you to hold here for 4 more breaths. Wherever you are. All right, now from here, release whatever connections you made. Grab that right foot, that left foot, release it. If you grab that right foot, release it. And then slowly come back through your supine twist. Bring your knees back up to center. And give them a hug into your chest. And then we're gonna start to go the other way. I'm gonna sit across my knees. Let your knees fall to one side or the other here. Or sorry, I should say one side or the other. Make them fall to the left. For sure they're going to the left. So you're in that supine twist here. Now, you're going to take your top leg, that's your right leg now, kick it towards your left hand. If you can grab a hold of it, then you're going to do that. And then from there, right now, I'm going to take my left foot, sweep it back, maybe I can grab a hold of that left ankle with my right hand. Again, I had to come up and lean to the left to do it, but now I'm going to try to come back down and put my right shoulder back towards the ground so that my chest is still open, right? So if you can hang out here, then you hang out here. You got to release that foot, release that foot. You release the other foot, release the other foot. But your chest points up towards the ceiling. Stay here in your version of the twist. More breaths here. And release. Stack your knees back on top of each other. Bring your knees back into your chest. Hug your knees into your chest. And then from there, let your feet come down to the ground. Let the soles of your feet come together. Let your knees come open to the sides. And we're coming here into reclining bound ankle. You can do whatever you want with your hands. Lay down on your belly. Maybe they come out to a T again. Maybe you take them to your inner thighs. Push those legs open a little bit more. Maybe you take them overhead. Reach your fingertips towards the back of the room. What feels comfortable to you? This is the stretch for the legs. The closer you pull your heels into your body, whatever else you're doing, right, the more sensation you're going to feel. So if you want more, keep pulling those heels in. If you want to back it off, push your heels away. We've got a minute here. Plenty of time to get into it. Make it feel good to you. bridge here, or basic bridge, you're gonna push your feet into the ground and lift your hips up to the sky. Now if you wanna go back to that supported bridge we did before, grab your blocks, slide under your hips, you're more than welcome to do that. If you wanna stay unsupported, using the strength of your legs to push your hips higher. Okay? Either way, I want you to tuck your shoulders slightly so your chest puffs open. If you're in an unsupported bridge and you need to make this deeper, then work one entire shoulder and the other underneath your body and clasp your hands underneath your body. If you're in a supported bridge and you're like, how do I make it deeper here? And take the block to a higher level, right? I have my block down this lowest level, now I've got it at the medium level. My back is not flexible enough for me to get it to the highest level, right? But if you love supported bridge and your back's pretty flexible, that's what you should be doing, right? To get the most out of this pose. Slowly working it up until you can get that block at its highest level underneath your hips. Right, but wherever you are, supported bridge, unsupported bridge, you've got your knees right over your ankles, so chest at least slightly puffed open. We're trying to increase the flexibility of the back. So the higher we raise the hips, the more we're able to do that. Like I said, just talked about, you're doing it with the block, raising your hips. If you're in supported bridge, if you're in an unsupported bridge, you're doing it with the strength in your legs. So you have to engage your quads, your glutes. Use those strong leg muscles to push your hips higher and increase the flexibility of your back. Take 2 more breaths here. And then as you exhale next, just let your hips float back down to the ground. Nice and slow. This time, as you inhale, you're going to bring your feet straight up to the sky. Right? Now, if you want to have a block under your hips here, support underneath your hips, you can do that. That actually makes this pose more intense because we've elevated our hips even more. So if you want to do that, go for it. Right? If you want to come to full shoulder stand, that's an option. You lift your hips up on your own. Put your hands in the small of your back so you're supporting yourself on your shoulders and your forearms. Right? Or you just stay with your head, hips, shoulders all flat on the ground and your feet up to the sky in your regular waterfall. These are all great options. We're all getting the feet up above the head and the heart. We're sending the blood from the feet where it pools all day. Taking it back to our head and our heart where we need it more. In addition to that, increased circulation. We're also naturally lowering our blood pressure. We're resetting our circadian rhythm. We're flooding the body with all sorts of anti-aging, anti-stress hormones, right? Lots of good things happen when we get a little bit upside down. I want you to stay there for 3 more breaths. When you're ready to come out of this pose, we're all going to come out of it the same way. Bend your knees, let them scrape right along your face and body. Slowly drop your feet back down to the mat. And from here, if you still have that block underneath your hips, now you're going to take that hip out from underneath your blocks. Then take that block out from underneath your hips. Everybody's hips are flat on the ground. Let's come into happy baby here. So roll forward a little bit before you do anything else. Get that sacrum, the low part of your back, to press into the mat. Then take your feet up to the sky. You're going to separate your feet, maybe slightly, maybe a lot, that's up to you. Bend your knees, maybe slightly, maybe a lot, that's up to you. Reach out for your same foot with your same hand. If you don't grab the foot, grab the ankle, the shin, the knee. Wherever you make that connection, it's good. Once you've made that connection, you can rock from side to side. Almost like you're giving yourself a little spinal massage. If it doesn't feel good doing the rock, then you're just going to stay still and not do the rock. I want this pose to feel good, right? Happy baby is the happy part of your practice. So make it feel good. Maybe here, you want to change your leg position now, right? If you want your legs to be wider or straighter or bent more, brought in more, just find something where it feels really good to you. Hang out there for another couple breaths. Take your knees, hug them all the way in to your chest. We're going to finish off here with our final twist. So let your arms go out long, like wings, in a T position. And as you exhale, drop your knees over to the right. take your chin and your gaze to the left. If you want to here, you take your right hand, press those knees closer to the earth, or if you've got enough space, extend your legs so your toes go towards your right fingertips. But just like when we were doing that cat grabbing its tail, right? You want that left shoulder to stay anchored. You want your chest up towards the ceiling. Right, we're just finishing off with this twist to seal off our practice. Let our bodies remember everything we did today. So next time we come practice, it's all a little easier. We go everywhere a little deeper. As you inhale next here, now you're going to take your knees back up to the sky. And then as you exhale, let your knees go to the left. Take your chin and your gaze to the right. Inhale, bring your knees back to center. And then as you exhale, give them one final hug into your chest. We're going to set up here for our final pose, our Shavasana. So let your arms go out long. Take your legs down. Take your hands to your sides. Let your legs extend there. Right? So we're coming into this Shavasana. Your traditional Shavasana is flat on your back. Right? Like you are right now. If you're not comfortable flat on your back, then don't stay here. You've got other options. You can bend your knees, let them fall in against each other. You can butterfly your legs, you can roll to your side, you can roll to your belly. Just find somewhere to be where you're perfectly comfortable, where you're going to be able to stay perfectly still. And most importantly, where your mind is going to be able to go perfectly quiet. You don't have to control your breath here. Let it go. Let it do what it wants to do. Let it take over. Let it begin to guide you. You're still focusing on it. You're still noticing that breath, still observing that breath. But you've released all control of the breath. When you can master that, the breath will take you right to a place where there's nothing left in your mind but you and your breath. And that's your true quiet of the mind. Slowly start to come back into the room. Wiggle your fingers, your toes, feeling that increased sensation that comes with a quiet mind. If you want to here, you do a nice full deep body stretch. Take your arms overhead, lengthen everything out. And from there, just roll over onto your right side in a fetal position. Take a couple breaths right there just to reacclimate to our space. Let the sights and the sounds of the room come back to you. Take as long as you need right here. Then when you're ready, only when you're ready, push yourself up to seated, and we'll close here. So we're going to close just with 2 Mari breaths and then an Om. Right, so the Mari breath, we inhale as we exhale, make that little humming sound in the back of the throat. And the Om is the universal syllable. It uses all parts of the throat. So we'll do 2 Mari breaths, 1 Om. You can join me in these breaths, so you can just listen. Let's close our eyes here. We'll inhale together. Inhaling again. And then we'll inhale one final time and Om. Let your eyes drift open. Bring your hands to heart center. Thank you, all of you, for sharing your energy, your practice with me this morning. The light in me honors the light in each of you. Namaste. All right. Thank you, everybody. I will see you all on Wednesday night for some yin. Liza will be here tomorrow morning for her Payo at 9 o'clock, so you can catch her then. Or if you need more gentle, Heidi's here tomorrow night at 7, so you can catch her then. All right, I will see you all Wednesday. Bye.